Strange coincidences and feelings of deja vu provide some of the greatest mysteries of our time. Perhaps you narrowly avoided a major accident by backing out of a commitment at the last minute, or found out that you and a loved one almost met, or didn't sometime in the past. It's easy to spend a lot of time playing the what if game, and most of these coincidences remain unexplained. And that's what today's video is about. 10 bizarre historical coincidences that have never been explained. Let's dive in. Number 10. Shakespeare's anagram. Shakespeare has left several marks on history. With at least 39 dramatic works attributed to him and several poems, he continues to be a household name, and his plays are performed worldwide. But did he also have a hand in the King James translation of the Bible? This one requires a little digging, so stick with us. Those who believe he left a Shakespeare was here calling card point to Psalm 46. Shakespeare was 46 years old when the King James Bible was being translated, and counting 46 words into the psalm reveals the word shake. Counting backward 46 words from the end, omitting the musical directive Selah, arrives at the word spear. A calling card or coincidence? Number 9. Disney foreshadowing. The teams at Disney are master storytellers, experts in thematic elements, symbolism, and foreshadowing. But even the Imagineering team couldn't have come up with this strange coincidence. Alex and Donna, engaged to be married, spent some time reviewing old photos to include in a wedding video. One of the photos Donna selected was her and her siblings posing with a Disney character on a field trip to Disney World in 1980. A closer look at the photo showed something unique: a young Alex in a stroller operated by his father. The couple had no idea they'd both been to Disney World simultaneously as children. The couple recreated the photo with their own children in 2010. Number 8. Edgar Allan Poe, future teller? Edgar Allan Poe was a master storyteller, particularly of dark, macabre events. Most know of his works like The Telltale Heart and The Crow That Cries Nevermore, but one of his most interesting stories was told on paper nearly half a century before it happened in real life. Poe's book, The Narrative of Arthur Gordon Pym of Nantucket, tells the tragic story of 4 sailors who survived the sinking of their ship. In their bid for survival, the group cannibalizes a cabin boy named Richard Parker. 46 years later, a boat sank, leaving multiple crew members stranded at sea. And wouldn't you know it, they resorted to cannibalism to survive. Who was the unlucky meal? A cabin boy named Richard Parker. Number 7. Mark Twain predicted his own death. Mark Twain was born during a rare event. Born in 1835, this was also a year that saw Halley's Comet pass Earth. This happens every 76 years or so, often a once-in-a-lifetime event for people to witness. But Mark Twain took it a step further. He's quoted as saying, "I came in with Halley's Comet in 1835. It is coming again next year, and I expect to go out with it." He was more accurate than he should have been capable of being. Not only did he die the year the comet passed our planet, but on the day of its appearance in 1910. And it wasn't suicide to ensure his prediction. He died of a heart attack. Number 6. Opposite brothers. Abraham Lincoln was famously assassinated at Ford's Theater in 1865. It's less well known that Abraham's son, Robert Todd Lincoln, had a brush with death the year prior. In 1864, the boy fell off a train platform and was thankfully rescued before he was struck by a passing train. The man who saved him? Edwin Booth. That name should ring a bell. Edwin had a brother, John Wilkes Booth, who would go on to assassinate the president just months later. Talk about a family divided. Number 5. Dual lifestyles. There are many studies that follow the lives of twins, making a note of their often strange innate connections. Complementing each other's sentences is a common trait of twins, as well as a sense of each other, even when apart. But is the same true of twins separated at birth? Such was the case for twin boys that were split up during adoption in 1940. Both adoptive parents named the boys James, and they would both eventually go by their preferred nickname of Jim. The brothers also grew up with childhood dogs named Toy. You'd think that's enough coincidences, but we're just getting started. As adults, they both worked in the security industry. One as a security guard and the other as a sheriff. They both married and divorced their first wives, named Linda, remarrying women with the shared name of Betty. In their second marriage, both men had sons named James and were given the middle name Allan and Allen. They both knew they were one half of a pair, but didn't meet until they were 39 after all these coincidences took place. Number 4. 4th of July. The 4th of July doesn't just celebrate America's independence from the British monarchy. It holds even more significance for some of the founding fathers. 3 of the first 5 United States presidents died on July 4th. Frenemies Thomas Jefferson and John Adams died on July 4th, 1826, within hours of each other. This was also the 50th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. James Monroe, the 5th President of the United States, died on July 4th, 1831. 3 deaths on the same day make the 4th of July the deadliest day of the year for US presidents. Number 3. A bad omen or a lucky soul. You'd count yourself lucky if you could escape a deadly situation once. But if you escape a similar deadly situation not twice, but 3 times, you might wonder if you're extremely lucky or just bad luck. Such was the case for Nurse Violet Jessup. She was on board the HMS Olympic when it struck another ship, and was also on the HMHS Britannic when it hit a sea mine and eventually sank. She lived to tell the tale, but really tempted fate by joining the crew of the RMS Titanic. We all know what happened to that ill-fated ship, and she emerged as one of the 706 survivors. Number 2. World War I soldiers. Millions of people were killed during World War I, and recording the deaths and putting soldiers and civilians to rest was a daunting task for all those involved. But something strange happened at Belgium's Saint-Symphorien military cemetery. The first recorded British soldier to die in the war was buried at this cemetery. Private John Parr was killed on August 21, 1914. Just a few feet away from this gravestone, Parr's neighbor ended up being George Edwin Ellison. He died on November 11, 1918. Just 90 minutes before the ceasefire order was given at the war's end. Ellison is the last recorded British casualty and is buried next to the first death. Quite poetic and entirely accidental. Number 1. The Simpsons. The Simpsons have been around for decades, and fans love the witty, cynical animated series. And over the years, they've made a lot of predictions that ended up becoming a reality. The portrayed entertainers Siegfried and Roy were mauled by a trained white tiger 10 years before the grisly scene played out in real life during a live performance. They also predicted Disney would snatch up other entertainment entities like 20th Century Fox almost 20 years early, and either predicted or inspired much of Lady Gaga's Super Bowl halftime performance. But perhaps the most popular prediction in recent history was Donald Trump becoming president. An episode dating back to 2000 shows the future for Bart and Lisa. Lisa has unsurprisingly become president, but in a strange twist, she just ousted President Trump, the outgoing president. That wraps up our list for today. What's the strangest coincidence or moment of clairvoyance that you've experienced in your life? Is there a big one that we missed on our list? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave us with a like and subscribe to our channel so you never miss a top 10 video upload. Until next time.